Hello and welcome to the second in this very special army showcase by the Ministry of Miniatures, and today I'm going to expand on the 8th Army I showed you yesterday and show you what I did with the box of British Commonwealth infantry. So as you probably remember, last time in the video I showed the 8th Army starter set and all the tanks I built. Not quite all the tanks because I've added to them, but in this video I'm going to be taking you through the different variety of troops that you can take as part of the Commonwealth set. So what I wanted to do is, because my 8th Army has 3 regular infantry squads, is I wanted to be able to make it any of the Commonwealth nations. So for example, if I wanted to make it an Australian unit, I could, with these 12, I could either run them just as a 12-man, these 10 men, I could either run them as a 10-man Australian squad with the 8th Army, or I could intermingle them to make the 3 infantry squads an Australian squad, and I'll show you what that might look like shortly. And there we go. So the idea is that by quickly mixing in some Australians into the British Army, they suddenly become 3 squads of Australians, which is what I used for our first desert battle report, the Australian diggers. I think that works quite well. But what I have done is I've also done some of the other nations, so let's have a look at those. So here you can see I've also done 10-man Kiwi squad, so using the New Zealand hats. I really like these. It adds a good variety, so I can even run these if I wanted to, I guess, as just a squad of New Zealand, or I could run them as Maoris, but the idea was actually if I wanted to take a whole army of New Zealanders, I could just simply swap them out with some of the British 8th Army and have a whole 3 squads of New Zealand troops. So let's see what that might look like. There we go, and suddenly I've got 3 squads of New Zealanders who can fit into create a New Zealand army if I wanted to. So it just goes to show the flexibility of using the different heads and having enough troops to make some decent Commonwealth armies. Okay, and then what I also wanted to create is, with the set you get the Scottish hats, so I can run these again as a veteran squad, would be quite nice. Scots Guards, all based exactly the same to make sure that actually I can run them as a squad. So as you see, each of the Commonwealth Army nations has SMG, NCO, 8 rifles and an LMG. So let's see what the Scots would look like if I had a whole army of Scots. And there we go, again, very easy. I've now turned my British army into a whole army of Scots Guards, which just goes to show the flexibility of the different head swaps. If you've got enough figures, you can have a huge variety of troops, and you can run this army as a British army, a Scottish army, New Zealand army, Australian army, and there are various heads. So let's have a look at some of the tanks that I've done that will help support my Commonwealth army. So first up, I've got a Daimler Mark 1. So as you can see, I've weathered it, I've painted it. I just wanted a really basic camera scheme. I wanted variety, so these match in with the Humber Scout car and the 2 Bring carriers that come with the starter set. So I wanted to stick with that theme and just show them in a very basic British Army, 8th Army paint scheme. And it's got a tank commander in the top, and again, quite like him. He's a nice little figure as the commander of the group. And here I've got 2 Crusaders, and as you can see, again, very nice tanks. I've kept them in the basic 8th Army pattern. I've put the weathering on the back, so as you can see, there's some rust, dirt, an ingrain, sand within them. decals just help keep their tank units, and the decals on the back. Now, one of the things I did like about this is actually on the front you can run them as different varieties. So I've just magnetised the machine guns on the front, so that if I wanted to swap them out and just put their turrets on, or the hatches on, because they're magnetised, they just go straight on, and I can change the variety of the tank. So 3 very nice vehicles, and then again just have a variety of tank paint patterns. I've gone with this paint scheme, which is, again, I really like. It gives so much variety with the basic pattern, the quarter, and then this one as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of weathering gone onto these. I wanted the whole army just to be quite worn in and well used within a desert. Okay. And then with the Churchill, exactly the same. I've given it plenty of weathering and the paint scheme to match. And that then becomes my entirety of my 8th Army and Commonwealth Army. So as you can see, lots of tanks, lots of troops, and lots of variety. I hope you like it. Please give me a thumbs up. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and let me know what you think I should have added to it. But I shall post my Sikh army tomorrow, which has all new troops and some different tanks as well. So let me know what you think of that tomorrow.